Okay, so for this last section, we're going to be looking at trapezoids. So first off, we want to determine what is a trapezoid. Well, usually we think about a trapezoid as something like this, but we could also have this. So a trapezoid is a quadrilateral, so it has four sides, and it has exactly one pair of parallel sides. These parallel sides are called the bases. So we got the base and the base. And then the non-parallel sides we call the legs. When the legs are congruent, then this is called an isosceles triangle. Not isosceles triangle. What am I saying? Isosceles trapezoid. All it is just an isosceles triangle that lost its little hat. So it's an isosceles trapezoid. So there are two key traits of a trapezoid. So the first is that both pairs of base angles of both pairs of an isosceles trapezoid's base angles are congruent. So if I have an isosceles triangle, just like this, then this is equal to this, and that is equal to that, just like a triangle. All right, number two, the diagonals of an isosceles trapezoid are congruent. So the diagonals from there to there and there to there, they are going to be congruent. Okay, so we want to find out that this is a trapezoid. So we have these four corners. In order to verify that this is a trapezoid, we need to show that two sides are parallel and exactly two sides. So we need to show that the slope of side AB, which is going to be equal to -3 minus a -3 over -4 minus 3 is equal to 0 over 1. And we want to show that the same slope for CD. Well, we're going to have 4 minus 4 over 6 minus a -7, which is equal to 0 over 1. So yep, these are the same. But what about these slopes for the legs? So we need to show the slope for BC, which is going to be equal to 4 minus a -3 over 6 minus 3, which is going to be equal to 7 over 3. And the slope of AD would be equal to 4 minus a -3 over -7 minus a -4. This would be equal to 7 over -3. That's cool. But these are not the same, so these are not parallel. So it is a trapezoid because we have exactly one pair of parallel sides. Now, is it an isosceles trapezoid? Well, these two are the legs. So we want to find the distance of side BC and see if that equals the same as side AD, the two legs. So BC, this is going to be 4 minus a -3 squared. plus 6 minus 3 squared. Well, this is going to be equal to 7 squared, which is 49, plus 3 squared, which is 9, so that's the square root of 58. And no need to reduce it now. What about the distance for side AD? Well, this is going to be equal to the square root of 4 minus a negative, whoops, doesn't really matter with the x's or the y's, but all right, so negative 7 minus a negative 4 squared plus 4 minus a negative 3 squared. So this is going to equal negative 7 plus 4, which is negative 3. Negative 3 squared is 9. Plus 7 squared is 49. Look at that. Square root of 58. These are the same. So isosceles trapezoid Jesus. Isosceles trapezoid. That's what this is. All right, an additional theorem that we have is that the median of a trapezoid is parallel to the bases, and its measure is 1/2 the sum, the measure of the bases. So, all right, so let's say that this is 20 and this is 10. 1/2 of the sum of the bases is 1/2 of 30, which is 15. So that would be the case there. So that's important for questions like this. So for this trapezoid, HJKL, S and T are the midpoints of the legs. So we want to find HJ. Well, we know, if we call this X, that X plus 86 divided by 2 is equal to 72. So X plus 86 is equal to 144. So X is going to be equal to 144 minus 86, which is going to be 58. Same with over here. We know that we can call this just WX. WX plus 19 divided by 2 is equal to 12. So WX plus 19 is equal to 24. So WX is equal to 5. Over here, we want to find TU, measure of angle E, and the measure of angle G. So first off, if we want to find TU, we know that TU is equal to 42 plus 14 divided by 2. So this is equal to 56 divided by 2, which is equal to 28. Okay, now because these sides, these are the bases and they're parallel, that means that these angles are going to be supplementary. So angle E plus 85 is equal to 180. So angle E is equal to 95 degrees. And angle D, angle D plus angle G, so angle G plus 35 is equal to 180. So angle G is equal to 145 degrees. And over here for number 10, we want to find the length of the median. So whatever the median is, we'll call that X, is equal to 60 plus 25 over 2, which is 85 over 2. And that's 85 over 2, or if we want to write that as a decimal, which would be fine, 42.5. They don't give us the midpoints here, but whatever that is, X is just the distance of that median. And then we want to find the angle of measure Q and measure S. Well, we could do measure S first, so S plus 125 is equal to 180. So the measure of angle S is equal to 55. And a key piece of information is that this is an isosceles trapezoid. So that means that angle Q is equal to angle R, which is 125. So knowing these different traits and these different rules is crucial in finding the correct answers for solving problems involving trapezoids.